You ever meet someone who just sticks in your head, like a song you can't stop humming? You don't even know why, but you keep thinking about them, their voice, their presence, the way they made you feel for 5 seconds. There's a psychology behind that, and once you understand it, you can make anyone feel that same pull toward you, naturally, not through manipulation, but by understanding what actually drives human attraction. Here's the thing, people don't remember what you said, they remember how they felt when you said it. And if you can make someone feel something powerful when they're around you, curiosity, admiration, safety, or excitement, their brain literally tags you as important. You become a part of their emotional highlight reel. Hold on, because this is about to make sense. Being liked is easy. Smile, be polite, talk about shared interests, boom, you're liked. But being remembered, that's a whole different level. That's when someone's driving home and your name pops into their head out of nowhere. It's when they see something random, a coffee mug, a song lyric, and suddenly you're there again. That's not chemistry or luck, that's psychology. Every human being has emotional weak points. I don't mean flaws, I mean those spots in your mind where emotion hits harder than logic. Hit the right one, and you don't just get someone's attention, you live rent-free in their thoughts. Let me give you an example. You're talking to someone and everything's pretty normal. Tone, pace, energy. Then out of nowhere, their face lights up, their body language shifts, their words come faster. That's called a spike. It means you touched something that matters to them, something personal. Maybe you mentioned their passion, their dream, their insecurity. And if you pay attention, that's your map into their mind. Save that thought because it connects with what comes next. Most people have 4 emotional triggers that run their connections. And if you learn to recognize them, you'll start understanding people in a way that feels almost unfair. The first one is a desire for validation. Everyone likes being appreciated, but some people need it. You'll know because they're always subtly trying to prove something, flexing their achievements, telling stories that make them sound impressive, waiting for that, wow, you're amazing reaction. Now, if you give them validation directly, it barely lands. Tell someone, you're smart. Their brain goes, yeah, okay. But make them feel smart without saying it. That's when it sticks. Here's how it works. Let's say you're at a coffee shop with someone who clearly loves giving advice. Instead of complimenting them, ask, hey, I've been thinking about changing my workout routine. What would you do if you were me? When they give their answer, look genuinely impressed and say, you know what? That actually makes total sense. I don't know how I didn't think of that. Boom. You didn't say you're smart. You made them feel smart. Their brain releases dopamine and connects that feeling to you. It sounds simple, but the surprising part comes next. Indirect praise lasts way longer than direct praise. It hits deeper because it bypasses their guard. You're not trying to impress them. You're letting them impress themselves in front of you. And here's the turning point. When you master this, people start craving your presence without knowing why. You've become the person who makes them feel good about who they are. Now, the second trigger is fear of failure. Everyone has goals that quietly terrify them. Maybe it's landing that promotion, getting into a dream college, or building a business. On the surface, they act confident, but underneath, there's always that voice whispering, what if I mess this up? And most people handle this wrong. When someone shares their fears, we rush to fix them. Don't worry, you'll be fine. You just need to work harder. Sounds helpful, but it doesn't work because deep down, they're not looking for a solution. They're looking for reassurance. And here's the catch. Advice touches logic. Reassurance touches emotion. So when someone opens up about their fears, resist the urge to fix them. Listen, let silence sit for a second. Then give them hope through a story. For example, say your coworker's freaking out about a big presentation. Instead of saying, you'll crush it, try this. Man, I get it. My friend was in the exact same spot. Nervous as hell before his first pitch. But afterwards, he said it was the moment everything clicked. I bet you'll feel the same. What you just did there was plant belief. You became the emotional safety net they didn't know they needed. And here's where most guys mess it up. They think reassurance makes them look weak or soft. But confidence isn't about never being scared. It's about making others feel safe when they're scared. That's leadership energy. Now, the third trigger is deeper, emotional wounds. Everyone carries invisible scars, rejection, betrayal, insecurity, whatever it is. You can't see them, but you can feel when they're there. Maybe a guy got rejected in college and it still haunts him. Maybe someone's ex made them feel not enough, and now they crave proof they matter. When you sense that kind of wound, the worst thing you can do is sugarcoat it. Saying, "You deserve better," sounds nice, but it doesn't heal anything. What really works is helping them change the story in their head. Let's say your buddy got ghosted by someone he really liked. You could say, "You know what's wild? That same girl ghosted another guy who's a literal 10 out of 10. It's not about you, it's her pattern." You didn't tell him to move on, you gave him perspective. His brain reclassifies the pain from "I'm not enough" to "she just wasn't aligned." That reframe is powerful. Hold on, because this next one flips everything. The fourth trigger is the craving for connection, both physical and emotional. But it's not about touch or flirtation. It's about being seen. When someone feels like you genuinely see them, their quirks, their tone, their small details, it creates intimacy without trying. Picture this, you're at the gym and you notice someone always wipes down the machines after using them. One day you say, "You're one of the only people who actually does that." It's such a small thing, but you've shown awareness. You notice something the rest of the world ignored. It may look small, but it creates a massive impact. People don't fall for attention, they fall for understanding. But here's the mistake most people make. They chase intensity. Constant texting, constant validation, constant "let's hang out." When you push too hard, the energy burns out fast. Real connection breathes. It's like fire. Give it air and it grows. Smother it and it dies. And here's the curious part. The more space you create, the more the other person fills it with thoughts of you. That's how attraction matures into obsession. So how does this all tie together? Every time you trigger one of those emotional buttons, validation, safety, healing, or connection, you're giving someone a psychological high. It's not manipulation, it's biology. Their brain releases dopamine, associates it with you, and starts craving more. That's why people text you out of nowhere. That's why they look for reasons to bump into you again. They're not addicted to you. They're addicted to how they feel around you. You might think you got it, but stay with me a little longer, because this last part changes everything. What actually makes someone obsessed isn't what you say or how you look. It's who they feel like when they're with you. If you make someone feel admired, calm, understood, and alive, their brain wants more of that version of themselves, and you become the gateway to it. Think about it. When someone says, "I can't stop thinking about them," what they really mean is, "I can't stop thinking about how I felt when I was with them." You're not the addiction, the emotion is. You just unlocked it. That's why you never need to chase. When you know how to make people feel seen and safe, they chase the feeling, and it leads back to you. But here's the catch. Don't use this to manipulate. The second your intention becomes control, you lose the magic. Connection built on honesty lasts. Connection built on tactics crumbles. Confidence isn't about bending people. It's about understanding them so well that you naturally stand out. That's real attraction. Calm, centered, magnetic. So remember this. People don't crave perfect looks or clever words. They crave emotional clarity. They crave the person who makes their world feel a little more stable, a little more exciting, a little more alive. And if this made sense in After Divorce, What Really Happens to Her and Why It Frees You, I'll show you what happens when that emotional bond breaks, how the brain rewires after separation, and why silence and peace become your ultimate power. Watch that next, because once you see it, you'll never look at attachment or freedom the same way again.